Okay, welcome to the video. So, as you know, this week was all resting and just kind of recouping myself. And then I wanted to welcome you to the video. Welcome to my triathlon journey. And I wanted to find a setting that was peaceful and not like all chaotic and a lot going on. So we got the lake in the background. We got the trees, the birds. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things when I think about training, and say for instance when I'm running downtown, I stop, meditate, and just breathe, and I can smell the flowers. It's the most wonderful thing when you're training. So this video is, of course, my triathlon journey. It's a journey where I take you guys along and you follow me along on the good, the bad, and the ugly, the mess ups, the goof ups, the trial and error, which is a big thing for me because I'm self-taught. I am working on getting a trainer. I'm really kind of pushing it around, but I know it's a lot financially. I know it's a lot just across the board. Because the way it looks now, to qualify for Kona, in my age group, 40 to 44, I have to get a 9:16. For the last 5 years, it was 9 hours and 16 minutes. So let me break that down for you. So it was 56 minutes on the swim, which is downstream. That's no big deal. 5+ hours on the bike, which is about a 23-mile-an-hour pace, non-stop, and then 3:23 to 3:30 on the run, and that's about a 7:50, 8-minute pace for 26 miles. Puts you at a 9:16 to 9:20 for my age group to qualify for Kona. So I'm optimistic. I know I can do it. And just say if there was that little bit of doubt in my mind, there is always legacy. It's 10 or 12 years. No one can give me a straight answer. So, race recap. Let's break down the race. So the race, all right, so this is how it went. So we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, kind of got motivated around 5, headed towards Haines City from Lakeland. And then when we got to Haines City, hang on, let me back up a second. So at 10 o'clock at night, I'm actually checking my bib number to see if it's on there. And the bibs go all the way up to like the 900s. And I was like 1055, I think it was, 1050. I can't remember exactly. So my bib's not in there. So I'm like, do I start emailing people? Is the machine just taking a while to load everybody in? Did the guy not do a good job when he scanned it? So I'm just like, come on. So, woke up next morning. First thing I do is grab my phone, obviously, and I hit my bib, 10:55, and there I was, Keith Brantley. So I was pretty pleased with that when I seen that. I was like, okay, I'm on there, race is on, it's good. One less thing I got to worry about. So we head to Haines City. Everything is good. We get there in like 20 minutes, no biggie. There's a parking spot. So when I drive in, it's kind of in front of this church on the corner of 6th and I think it was Ledwith. So my wife's like, you can park there. I'm like, you know, me living in the boundaries and the zones that I live in, I'm like, it's not a parking spot. It's kind of like a parking spot behind a parking spot. It's not really blocking anything, and it was beside this church. So I'm turning around to go find another parking spot. This car behind me, in the meantime, is like, what is this guy doing? I did a 3-point turnaround and then changed my mind, did another 3-point turnaround and got in that spot. So that's how my morning started off. So it was pretty entertaining, to say the least, to most. So, of course, unloaded a couple things in my bag, put it on my bike. Once I got into the transition area and started, you know, kind of setting up my day, laid out a towel, you know, it's a lot going on. You got music in the background. You got athletes talking to you. I met these two cool, chill guys from Atlanta. They were staying in Orlando. They come down to the race. It's their first one. They're surfers, so they're really good in the water. So, hung out with them, chilled with them, because I made a last-minute decision to do wetsuit. It was like 1 degree off from being wetsuit legal. So I was like, I know this swim is a little challenging, so you can't see anything in the water. You can't see the athletes. It's just, it's a crazy swim. A lot of turns. It's like an M. It goes boop, 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 and then finish line. And then now they got this new thing where you swim under this and it gets your time at the halfway point. So 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters, you know, however they measure it. And then you hear the thing go off. And you're like, okay, I guess it's so you can't cheat, because over the years, some people have cut across and cheated and they didn't say anything. It's like, whatever. So me, I'm going inside the buoys, outside the buoys, making my turn when I'm supposed to, and, you know, doing right by Ironman and my conscience, because I have a guilty conscience. I have to do everything right by the book. So, which is good, not a bad thing. So, get out of the swim, and before the swim, I was like, well, 2019, they had you swim right across and got in your bike, and it was like 500 yards run, no big deal. They had you run all the way out of the water to lead width, back down, back up to lead width to my bike where it was at. So I'm gonna say a mile. I know it's probably exaggerating. I can look at my T1 mileage and see. I think it tracks your mileage to see how far it was. But it was at least a quarter of a mile, but it felt like a mile. And I was barefooted. I had 2 surgeries on my feet a couple years ago. So I was definitely feeling that pain all throughout the race. So Ironman, if you're gonna make us run that far, put down some mats. I appreciate the N95 mask, but once this goes away, take the money for N95 mask, put it in some mats for the athletes to run on, so it's a little bit more fair when it comes to racing and transitioning. So, got back to my bike, pulled everything off, 5 minutes in transition, got the wetsuit off super quick, was able to leave on my chip for Ironman. A lot of times I have to take it off. I did have to take off my watch. I got the Garmin here. You can see it real quick. Take off my watch, and then that way I could do, you know, the rest of ripping off my wetsuit, and then I put my watch back on. But I started doing that when I got out of the water. I was like, no way, Jose, I am stripping now. And then already had my tri-suit underneath, so I was able to get the wetsuit off, bike shoes on, and then I clickety-clacked all the way to the bike mountain line, which was by this building, up a ramp, down to the right, which wasn't as bad as the swim to the bike. So the bike to the bike mountain line was about 500 yards, and that's pretty close. Gets better. So when you get on your bike, you're trying to clip in, you're going up this 80-degree hill like this, and I got one foot clipped in, and I'm trying to pedal, and I keep can't get it clicked into the right. Finally get it clicked in, almost stop and fall over, but I was able to get my balance and push through that hill. And then you got your family yelling at you on the right-hand side, which they frown upon spectators being there, but you can't keep people away from a race. Your spectators, your family, that's your support team. You have to have your support team there. That's most important. So, I love my race recap. My race recap that I got going on now, talking to you guys, is wonderful. Let me just fix my camera real quick. There we go. So, the race recap, this video is just going great. I love every minute of it. I can't wait to get it out there to you guys. So we're gonna jump back to the bike. Got on the bike, feeling good on the bike. I was doing 18 to 25 miles an hour all day. I was passing people. I felt really strong on the bike. About 3 hours. Swim was about 45 minutes, about 3 hours on the bike, roughly. So the last 6 miles of the bike was so hard. I did not enjoy the bike the last 6 miles because it was an old lime rock road where a lot of trucks have been out and they just beat the tar out of the road and they haven't been there to fix it. So they just let it go. So whatever. It kills the athletes. So flying down the hill that I came back up, doing about 30 miles an hour, get to the bike mount line, locking up the brakes, slowing down, stop just in time right for the bike mount line. And there's two of them there, so it's kind of confusing. You got the timer deal, and then you got the actual bike mount line. So it's a little confusing. So got past that, remember to hit my watch so I can go to the next, part of the race. Push my bike back to the mount line, didn't mess with anything, didn't do my OCD, just racked it, kicked off my bike shoes, put on my running shoes, my race belt, and I think I got a bite of a granola or something that I had there and ate that. And then I missed sunblock on the bike part, and then I found it on the actual run. This lady's like, I'm a nurse, I had my COVID shot, and it's like little packets of ketchup. So you get one, you're good. It does like one little section, and then you're like trying to open more and your hands are all oily and it's just like, it's a nightmare. So it's like, do the pump, anything goes, offer gloves if you will. So this lady, since she had her shot and she was a nurse, she got my back real good, thank God, because I was a little burnt from the bike. Not too bad, but it was definitely weighing you down. And when you're racing, you don't want to be sunburnt because that takes away from your race. So then we jumped on the run. First loop was good, 8-9 minute pace. And then I felt like I was hitting my wall because it seemed like the later it got, the hotter it got. And it got up to probably 85, 90 degrees that day. That's what it felt like. I don't know for sure, but that's what it felt like. So I kept putting ice in my hat when I would go through the transition area where they had like the water, Gatorade, chips. I had a cookie. So definitely everything felt good body-wise. It was just like, I don't know, you know how you get that feeling like you're gonna be sick? That's kind of how I felt a couple times. But I pushed through, did the first loop, family's yelling at me, trying not to get my feelings, try to stay out of my feelings. And yeah, that's a challenge. So second loop came around, they were gone. They were like, well, some lady told us to go over here. I was like, well, you missed me on the second loop, so no big deal. They were there for the bike and the first loop on the run. Second loop was about 10-minute pace, wasn't great. So I think I finished the run up in about 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. It wasn't great. I mean, I needed to be at 2 hour mark, obviously, because that's where I'm at for a half marathon. Got a big blister on my toe, so that was pretty exciting. Didn't even know. Got home 2 days later, I'm like, man, what is this? And it'd been there for a while, so I popped it. A little bit of stuff came out of it, not much. And now it's all better. So 7 days recovery. Got a 5K coming up. Pretty excited about that. I want a PR on that. It's gonna be at the Mayfair, down at the lake, 2 weeks from today. I think it's May 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure on that. So yeah, that's what's going on. Really appreciate Ironman putting this on. We've been out all last year, not racing. So it was good to feel that race again and that people being competitive. But yeah, so felt like I had a strong swim, strong bike, strong first loop run. Second loop was not so great, but I didn't DNF. A lot of people DNF, even a couple of pros. One guy got his pro card. His wife that was with him, I don't know if she was trying to get a pro card or what she was trying to do, but she stopped at like 7 miles. And I passed her, and she was standing like in the middle of the road with her feet like this, like leaning over. And I'm like, seriously? So, and then we had a couple of athletes that were on the ground, ambulance. You want to stop and help them, but it's a race, you got to keep going. I mean, they have people there and COVID and all that, and they have the right people to do that. Maybe in a non-COVID situation, you could probably go over there and help them. But yeah, it was hard to not get in your feelings because you're just like, take a deep breath, they're gonna be fine, and keep moving forward. If you were laying there they'd want to come and help you as well, but obviously with everything going on, they probably can't. So they have officials and Ironman and everybody, you know, to help you. So next year 70.3, I gotta wait for that email and see when I can sign up. Yeah, I got a couple races coming up. Chattanooga's gonna be a challenge, like I was telling you. Got to get a 9:16 to qualify for Kona, so that's definitely gonna be in the books for this year. Something happens different, you know. I went and raced, I had a good time, and that's what it's all about. So I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Thanks for coming along these last 18 weeks of training. This is what it's all about. All the commentary and all the video and all the training. It's this video right here where it all kind of just comes together. You get the results. Hopefully those videos were helpful to somebody. That's what this is about. It's not about getting subscribers or getting the likes, even though those help get the channel out there. But yeah, want to thank you for following along. The channel has since climbed a few, so I'm happy about that. The likes are doing good. The watch time is getting up there. So we're gonna get going where we need to go. And then once the channel gets bigger, the more people I can help. So tell a friend. If you're watching now, tell a friend, say, hey, just click the subscribe button. It doesn't help me, but it does help me. It helps other people get out there and find what I'm doing. And if it's one thing that helps them, I've done my job. So I will see you guys in the next video. It's gonna be 5K racing. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's it. Follow me on my Instagram at ironman.keith. And don't forget, like I always, have fun, be safe, stay safe, train safe, and we will see you guys in the next video.